Welcome to this week's Community Forum. Joining me today is Jim Campbell, who is the Special Event Manager with the Summit Bechtel Reserve. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about your background to start off.
Oh boy, my background, I've got about 40 years in the special event industry. I started in Los Angeles and pretty much worked with anything that a live event, a live audience would attend. Anywhere from the sporting events, worked with the Lakers and the Clippers and the Kings back there. I did Emmys and Grammy parties and all those type of things, as well as major festivals and a lot of corporate events. So I've got a good rounded background in the industry, doing shows all over the world.
That's just fantastic. I'm sure you got to see lots of different things, meet lots of different people.
Yeah, it's an exciting industry. A lot of people, want to get into that industry because it is an exciting industry. But it's a lot of hard work and a lot of hours, and we always joke that you're living the life because you just did a 24-hour shift setting up and then tearing down a show. But yeah, it's real interesting. I've been very blessed to be able to have some great opportunities in my life to be a part of some pretty big projects. And the Summit Bechtel Reserve being a huge capper to my career.
I was going to say, how has your career led you into the Summit Bechtel Reserve? If you could share with us.
Well, my background, my wife and I were high school sweethearts, and her family, her mom and dad were born in this area over Raynell and Gad. Raised in Jody, and we were on vacation back here, and we came through Ansted and ran into this beautiful old Victorian mansion that was in a bad state of repair, and we decided we wanted to make a life change, and we bought the place. It's called the Pagewater House. It's got a lot of huge history. The Virginian Railway was pretty much conceptualized and built from that house. We did a ground-up restoration on it, and we, we saved the house, and it's just been a great part of the community over there. It's so that's how we started, and my job led me. I really fly to work. I was doing rock and roll marathons all over the country, and 28 cities a year, 80,000 air miles.
Never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment, and we went to a promotional party out at Adventures on the Gorge one day, and I ran into one of the gentlemen out there at the summit, and I handed him my card, and he said that if he ever needed to do a show, I'm probably one of the few guys in West Virginia that knew how to do it. So they called me the next day, and I interviewed for this position, and been there for 2.5 years now. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
And can you tell us some information just on the background of the reserve itself?
Yeah, so it's an amazing place that we are so lucky to have in our backyards here. It's 10,600 acres on site, has some of the best high adventure elements in the country: zip lines, rock climbing, mountain biking, skate park, BMX. Shooting sports, there's lakes and water sports there that we can camp over 50,000 people there, depending on the configuration. Got a stadium that'll house 70,000 people. The site was really, the main intent of the site is to house the National Scout Jamboree every 4 years. Okay. We will also host, this is a Jamboree year, so this July we'll have 30 to 40,000 Boy Scouts and their leaders converging on this area and having the Jamboree out there. Wow. 2019 we'll host the World Jamboree, and in between, we have a regular scouting program on site where scouts from all over the country come and visit the site and are able, they camp and they can immerse themselves in all those different sports that we have there and all the different elements. Plus they learn a lot about ecology and leave no trace and all the other things that we can teach them on site. It's a great, they go away with a life experience from the place. So that part's great. So as you can imagine, it's a huge facility. They've spent a ton of money out there. It's still growing. We've got 5 construction projects on site going right now, plus the Ruby Welcome Center that everybody can see out on the 19. That's going to be, I think there's an interior rock climbing wall there. Anybody can go visit that, get a little history of the site. During Jamboree, that's where all the buses will arrive, do the check-in, and then go on site through the south entrance. So it's pretty exciting to see all this all change. We'll still have our summer program, and then it'll get cut off, and then we'll move into Jamboree mode.
And how long is Jamboree?
Jamboree is 10 days in July, near the end of July there, and but it takes months of preparation and years really with all the things that go into it. But the actual build on site is starting here within the next month or two. To build out for that, because it's a big deal.
Yeah, it sounds like there's just a ton of potential
yeah.
with that much space, and
yeah.
and you have a few other events.
Yeah, so really the place was built for a large scale event, and so in between every 4 years, there's other needs to, number one, sustain the place, open it up for other nonprofit youth organizations and so forth, so that they get the same the experience or chance to experience the site. And then we also want to build out some for-profit events on the site. So when I first came there, they were already in the midst of changing the state constitution to allow us to be able to do for-profit events there, and then they brought me in to enact all that.
Jumpstart it?
Yeah, jumpstart that. So, my main focus is developing other nonprofit youth organization events and so forth on the site. And then secondary is to go and find some other events that we could do on the shoulders of the main youth program. So we start June 1st and go to, around August 1st with the youth program on site. So that leaves, a couple months of some pretty good weather that we could do other events. So. Mm-hmm. So the nonprofit youth organization groups that I've been going after has been the 4-H and YMCA and Girl Scouts and JROTC, Governor's School, other school mm-hmm. programs. We're developing an elementary school program on site. We're developing programs with WVU now that they can come on site and use the facility and do experiments and other programs, that learning experiences. We do the science behind the sport. There's a lot of different things that are being developed. It's still such a young property in a lot of different directions. But the biggest one I've got with the nonprofit is the Girl Scouts. So the Black Diamond Girl Scout Council down in Charleston, they cover most of West Virginia, some parts of Ohio, Kentucky, and I believe Pennsylvania. And they're very forward-thinking. They really want to make Girl Scouts more traditional in the camping sense and outdoor activities for girls. And so they really see the vision of being able to use our site for some of their own programming, and it's worked out really good because they really understand the possibilities out there. And so this summer we'll have the second biannual Girl Scout Jamboree. And first year we had 500 girls from 11 states attend and camped on site and had a 4-day program there. It was amazing. Got some great pictures of girls doing all the stuff that the boys get to do out there. So it was really amazing. So this year they're on track to have 1,200 to 1,500 girls, and I'm not sure how many states. So it's really a building groundswell type of.
Be growing year after year.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. This will be the third year the JROTC is on our site. Governor's School has a program. So there's a lot. We're still developing that, and the more we do those type of programs, the more the other church groups and youth groups can see that we're open for business for other groups too. And that can happen all summer long. It doesn't have to. They can intermingle with the Scouts on camp. We can give them their own campsite really, and they can do their own program. And then from there, go out and enjoy all the different activities we have.
And is this going to be open year-round, or is it more in the warmer months? Yeah,
more in the warmer months. Eventually, we'll have a training center on site that there'll be lodging that'll so we can keep the training center, youth leadership training, that we can keep open all year. those type of things. But we're limited with the weather and so forth for camping and what we can do because there's no inside elements that we can hold an event. It's all outside.
Right.
Yeah, but if you think about it, in looking at this facility. And if you've ever been to a music festival, Bonnaroo or Lock-In or any of the big festivals, they go out into a big field and have a festival, and they have to bring all this infrastructure in to have the festival. We have it all. We can camp 50,000 people, and they have bathrooms and showers and power and all the things that are already installed there. Plus, we have the stadium. We have a beautiful backdrop to the stadium with the lakes and then all the other things that can happen on site while a music festival or something like that's going on. So a couple of things that I've been working on developing is, and one that we've, the X Games was looking for a new site out of Austin, and it turned out that their event was on the same times as our Jamboree, so that really didn't work out for us. But within that, we did create a nice relationship with them. They've been to the site, they've seen it. We had a planned qualifying event that X Games was going to do up at the BMX track, on camera, do, what is it, X Games, World of X Games on Sunday, and then do a special for the X Games themselves, how the trail to the X Games. So that's still in conversation. Unfortunately, ESPN cut the budgets at the last minute, so we weren't able to get that one this year, but I'm looking forward to 2018 on that.
Yeah, maybe in the future.
Yeah. But the big one we landed was the Spartan National Championship race.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's going to be huge for the state. Very exciting event. The nature of the Spartan races, they're probably one of the biggest producers of obstacle course races in the country, if not worldwide. They have 160 events worldwide, and 60 of them in the United States. Within that, so if you think about it, there's 60 races. They average 5,000 to 10,000 people per race. Then they have a five-event championship series, which one of them is in Nashville, and 8,000 people attended last year.
That's a pretty big deal.
If you draw the circle around the summit and around our area here, there's somewhere around 60% of the U.S. population is within a day's drive of us, and there's 20 to 30 Spartan races within that circle. If not even a little bit farther, there's more. Originally, we were going after the World Championship, and Tahoe decided they wanted to keep it, but we came in with a real strong proposal. The state has been wonderful, tourism department, in backing this event, and this type of event, they don't just come and put on a show. They put out an RFP in the cities that want the event, put money up, some in-kind services and so forth to help them offset their costs to do this event on the site. So. We have the state tourism department put up some money. We have Charleston CVB, Southern West Virginia CVB. Within those portions, also the Yeager Airport put up some money with Charleston, and the city of Beckley put up some with Southern West Virginia. And then we have a lot of our hoteliers and so forth, and some of our health professionals that are donating in-kind services to help, attract them here. But, the good news is that we have the culminating event, and so there's going to be 5 championship series events with the champion being crowned here in West Virginia. So it's a big deal. It should hopefully pull in 10,000 to 15,000 people the first year. I see it growing to a pretty large event. Spartan is very forward-thinking, and they're wanting to develop this event as a destination resort or destination event, so that they are helping promote, like the city of Charleston. They want people to stay down there, go to Music on the Levee. They have their street fair festival that they do. We have Appalachian Festival in Beckley on that same weekend, so we're promoting that. We have New River Gorge and all the activities that can be done there, so we're promoting the different outfitters to, if people want to go rafting or rock climbing or hiking or mountain biking, do the bridge walk,
they can do it all.
Go over to see Hawk's Nest, any of those things. So those will all be presented within the website for when people go to sign up for the event. They'll get to see all these things as well as find places to lodge.
Well, that's perfect. And we're going to take a quick break, but I know everyone wants to hear more on this big event. So be sure to stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we have Jim Campbell here today, who's the Special Event Manager with the Summit Bechtel Reserve. So thank you again for coming over to WOAY.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And we were just talking about the big Spartan race that is going to be this August.
Yeah, it's just an amazing opportunity. And anytime we can talk about bringing new life into this area. The one thing with the Spartan race is that their demographics are really perfect for us. This group is they're professionals, mostly college educated. They make $80K a year. Sports tourism is probably the biggest market that's growing in our country right now, and these type of events like the Rock and Roll Marathons or the Spartan races and the Tough Mudders, and there's plenty of other ones. They're really in a growth period where a lot of the big music festivals and other things are going down. So the opportunity here to show off our area to that demographic is, so some of them have kids, young kids, but are going to have kids soon, and as they grow and they see this area, the whitewater rafting, the hiking, the mountain biking, all the different things that can be done in this area, people just don't know what we have here, and I think this type of thing and all the other events that keep growing this area is really going to help that whole situation. But Spartan is just going to be great. We were talking about the lodging and so forth. So if we filling up all the hotels and the money goes back into the system and helps pay for other events like this, and we have a lot of hotels now. There's a lot of non-traditional lodging over on the Gorge and Fayetteville and Oak Hill and all around, and so I think there's plenty of opportunities. I mean, I've heard already from many hoteliers and people that have the non-traditional housing that they've already gotten booked up and are getting calls, and so. Great. And this, unlike the Jamboree, a lot of the program is on site, and that's, the focus is on the kids getting out into the site and doing all the different things that we have to do there, doing the program. There's also the community outreach and programs that they do in the community, and every day we have 2,000 or 3,000 people, kids going out and doing community projects out in the communities. But this event, more than the Jamboree, the Jamboree folks don't go out and eat dinner out and all those things. It's all in camp and so forth. Although there's a lot of the people that are working and supporting the event that are out in the hotels, and just not as much as something like this. On Spartan, they're going to be going on site, doing their race, and going off site and finding other things to do. Yeah, all over the state. I went and visited the World Jamboree, or the World Championship in Lake Tahoe, and I went out during the day and went around the Lake Tahoe area, and I saw people with Spartan stuff all around the lake, and that's a big lake. That's miles. It takes you a couple hours to get all the way around, but people were staying hour away. And then populating the hotels. Of course, they have the casinos there, and they were in the casinos too. But they filled up the lodging around the lake there, and it's the same thing here. We can fill up hotels from Charleston to Bluefield to this whole area. And
there's so much to see in each of those parks.
That's right, yeah, and that's the beauty of what Spartan really gets. What we have here, they came a couple times and saw, and I always take them on the back roads. I don't take them on the main road.
There you go.
that really show them the beauty. I drive them underneath the bridge, and you know, they really get a good taste of our area. So they understand, and they are programming this, and they're actually going to be developing some other of their events to model this event as more destination oriented, so that they don't just come in, race, and go home. They actually stay a few days, make a vacation out of it, a family vacation. They're developing their youth race program, which is a great part of it, because that's the next racers are going to be the kids. So they'll be developing. We're still waiting for the concept on it, but we'll have a pretty good youth race on site, as we are youth oriented, and so they'll have the best scout and best scout leader, and you know, awards and so forth, and medals for that.
Oh, that's exciting.
And the good news is, I mean, they're really working with us as well. So they've agreed to do an obstacle course race up in Garden Ground Mountain during the Jamboree as well. So all our scouts will get a taste of the Spartan obstacle course race when they're here. Yeah.
Very cool. So. And you mentioned that there's a potential music festival in 2018 that might be in the works.
So one of my other projects I'm working on, and
lots of projects.
This is an exciting one. If we get this one, it really opens a big door for West Virginia. But you know, our site is very unique in the aspects. Number one, as I mentioned before, we have the infrastructure put in. So a concert promoter doesn't have to bring all these porta potties and shower units in, and all the, you know, power and generators and all the things that go into it really is, you know, feeding and tents and all the things that go with that. You know, we have a lot of that already. We have more Wi-Fi than the you know, bandwidth in the city of Charleston, I think, out there. So that's another thing is you know, the marketing of any event really is the people on site tweeting and Facebooking and sending all this stuff out while they're on site. So
that's how you bring in more people.
That's right, and promote your event. So with that in itself is you know, a music festival fits perfectly in there. That in the radius around us of how many people that, you know, potentially could come to this event. We can't just do a music festival there, because you know, the market is saturated right now with big music festivals, and they're closer to the main population bases. So we have to get a little creative. So
find a new angle.
Yeah. So with this site, again, very unique part of it is we have, you know, one of the top gun ranges in the country, archery ranges, BMX, mountain bike. We have 32 miles of mountain bike trails. We have one of the largest outdoor skate parks in the country up there that's sitting empty when we're not doing the Boy Scout programming. And so, you know, the concept of this festival, which is pretty exciting, is that we could build small venues in each of those areas, bring in sponsors, manufacturers that produce those type of products, and, you know, say up in the shooting ranges we could do a country music stage with barbecue and all the stuff that you can either wear or use to shoot or whatever it is, and have some real life experiences of shooting. You know, we have pistol ranges, rifle ranges. We have shooting, you know, sporting clays.
There you go.
You know, there's all kinds of things they can do. Same thing with archery. Same thing with BMX. You know, the kids can get out there and get a clinic, or they can see a national championship event. X Games could, you know, be doing a demonstration. They can go down and get a taste of what it would be like. They can do. So, excuse me. So the way this festival would work is, you know, during the day they'd have all these opportunities to get into whatever sport they want to, and then in the evening come down and see a large-scale music festival, and you know, have headliner acts, and then they camp the night with their family. So
it's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah. So we're trying for 2018. We've got some of some people looking at it really hard right now, developing the concept and then presenting it, and so we're on the road on that one. I hope we'll be making an announcement soon on that one. So
great. And have you found just the community and local businesses and the government all to just be really supportive and excited about the potential?
Yeah, it's come a long way. I think people are finally understanding that, you know, we're not here to take business away from anybody. We're here to create new business and bring new possibilities to this area. This will be the Spartan race will really just, between the Jamboree and then the Spartan race, and then if we get this music festival for 2018, it's going to be a great boon for this area. And if you think about it, you know, we really can't rely on coal anymore. We need to build something, and I think, you know, one of the reasons I'm over there, I really believe that could be the ground zero of the tourism industry here in this area. You know, you see some exciting things going on. ACE is really developing ACE Adventures are developing a lot of different things out there, water park, and they have a music festival, and I think they have like a Tough Mudder for women out there. They have different events going on. And the development of Adventures on the Gorge out there, beautiful facility and an upscale experience. Even their non-traditional lodging in the cabins in the woods, and that whole experience out there. You're able to zip line or you know, go fly fishing from these different places. You have a big opportunity to really develop the tourism of this area, and it's the sport tourism. It's not. You know, Grandma and Grandpa aren't going to go rafting. Some of them do. Yes.
The very adventurous ones.
But the ones that are up and coming, and the youth or our 20 and 30-year-olds that are very active and have active families, this is a great place to visit and bring, and it's such a great lifestyle here. And the more people see that, the more industry is built, and more lodging, and our house values go up, and
a nice snowball effect.
Yeah, well, you know, that's the big picture. Down the road, I think there's a lot of opportunity for that to happen here, and you know, we want to keep the area pristine and not, you know, become a Dollywood or you know, what that did to that area down there. It's, you know, it's a great tourist area, and Pigeon Forge and all that, but we don't want to become that. And there's a lot of strong feeling in the community that is something we don't want to have happen. But I think we can do it responsibly and build the industry, build our tourism, and this southern West Virginia area is probably, of anywhere in the state, prime for that development. And these type of events like the Spartan race will bring new eyes to the area. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you have an exciting list of events and future planned. And I want you to just tell our viewers where they can get some more information.
You can go to our site, is summitbsa.org. Summitbsa.org. There's a couple tabs. You can see a lot of the Scout program there. You can go to the special events tabs and see some of the things that are going. You should be able to email me there if you have some inquiries. There also will be some volunteer opportunities and other sponsorship opportunities for some of the other events that we're doing. We have a Veterans Appreciation Day event. This will be the 3rd year. We've got Darryl Worley coming. That's the 17th of June. And if you're a vet, you're welcome to come with your family. I believe we'll open that up for general public. We'll have a ticket that we'll be able to sell a ticket for the concert only. But if you're a veteran, you can come during the day with your family and do different activities. And so there's plenty of opportunities and information on the summitbsa.org.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It's great to have you.
Anytime we get to talk about it, it's great. Yeah.
Definitely. So. And thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your weekend.